Alright, hi, good afternoon. Oh, it's been way too long since I played this and I don't fully remember what was happening. I know that we made it to Britain, and then we immediately got thrown into court to defend somebody that's being accused of murder, obviously, because that's Ace Attorney. But I don't remember really anything else. I know I could probably start the case, this chapter, from the very beginning, but I don't want to. Hold on, I need to do something, try something real quick. I thought I spelled that wrong. Never mind, I got it now. We're great. So, I guess that we'll get into it and see. Adventure of the Runaway Room. Oh, that's a cute mug. Now we're right here with testimony. And I don't remember anything, really. I don't think I gave anybody voices, really. So we'll just go for it. I guess. It was the last bus of the evening, so I had few customers. I remember it well. The victim and the man accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus. Then out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts. Ew. That's right, he stabbed him. I screamed, I did, couldn't help it. As soon as I heard the scream, I stopped my bus, and then I saw it too. That helps with nothing. Unambiguous testimony, I say. Exactly, my lord. These men witnessed the incident in the omnibus with their own eyes. I'd like to ask a question, if I may. Yes, counsel. Well, this testimony makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. Why not? Well, the incident took place inside a moving carriage, didn't it? As has been clearly stated from the outset, yes. Well, in that case, how could those two witnesses possibly have seen what happened? There's no way they could have seen the inside of the moving carriage. How quaint. I'd read that civilization in the Eastern Island nations was a good century behind our own. But you're here in London yourself. Are you really so ignorant about our omnibuses? Huh? Tell me, my Nipponese friend, have you even traveled in an omnibus? Well, no. We, only arrived in London this morning. Momo, hi! Happy birthday! Hi! What's up? How are you? I don't know what's happening. Ooh, you got a good gift. I just saw your post in Discord. I really want that one myself, but I'm scared of prices. So I'm jealous. Oh, hi! What's up? Ugh, my room is warm. I don't know what's happening in my game anymore. It's been so long since I played it. Yes, the Christmas Town Sora is so good. Did I show you that there's plushes of them being made? Of Halloween Town and Christmas Town? Okay, I deserved that response. No, not for that. Ugh. No banning for bad jokes. What? I have to watch that later. No, you can't ban me! You can't ban me from my own stream! Oh, I get to actually see the scene of the crime. Ah! Thanks for following. Oh, he's hidden little Deku is hidden behind, the game. Oops. Where is it? Oh, it's all the way down here. Whoopsies. Oh, I want some boba. Okay, I fixed it for anyone else. I want boba. I think the place that wait, the place that has boba that I go to is closed on Sundays. It's also a little bit late for me to go and get anything. I don't like driving in the dark. Wait, a carriage is designed to be moved after all. Presumably you understand that much. Does that mean that the actual carriage that the guy was killed in is going to be in the courtroom? The omnibus in which this bloody crime took place is here today, and oh, it is in the courtroom. It's getting late enough for me because it's going to be getting dark really soon. And I don't want to go out. Hank's here too! So many people are here! The entire carriage. Bring forth the stricken omnibus. Why do we have to see the actual... that thing's huge. I don't want to see the actual carriage that the guy was killed in. Aww. Oops, I copied something on my phone by accident. That's an omnibus. The omnibus. I can't believe they could bring something so enormous in here. Great Britain's courtrooms are amazing. As you can see, the omnibus is pulled by 2 horses and can carry up to 8 passengers. Oh. 4 passengers seated inside the enclosed cabin, and another 4 on the rooftop deck above. Every Londoner knows that the best views of the city's architecture and sights are to be had from the top of an omnibus. Oh. Or I should point out to our foreign guests... Oh, that there's a skylight in the roof allowing a view of the interior of the seats above, above. That makes sense. Ah, a skylight. Oh. The penny drops at last, I see. These 2 gentlemen were occupying the rooftop seats on this omnibus when the murder took place. Okay. That is how they came to witness the grim incident. Through the skylight. That makes perfect sense. It really does now. Because I was wondering how they could have seen it if they weren't inside the carriage. Well, Counsel, this is a first. In all my years behind the bench, I've never experienced the crime scene itself being brought into the courtroom. There are a number of important clues remaining inside the carriage, my lord. I would like to submit the omnibus itself as evidence. He's fancy. That is the prosecution's wish. Very well, I see no reason why not. This omnibus is hereby formally accepted as evidence. Can I actually look at it? I can't believe it. The entire crime scene entered as evidence? Yes, Great Britain is simply extraordinary. I could help myself a lot by giving the omnibus a thorough examination, seeing as it's here. Good, I can. Let's continue with proceedings then. Your cross-examination, counsel. Pray don't expect this Nipponese stray to understand the intricacies of a British court's cross-examination rights. That's a lot of words. Alright, my first cross-examination at a British court. I don't even know what there is to cross-examine. Oh, they brought the cut-ins to this game. That's so good. Please hold on. Well, let's open the door and go inside, shall we? Why would we go inside? Can't we just look from outside? Oh. That's a poster for the great exhibition that's due to start 6 months from now. There's a lot of focus being drawn to the Crystal Tower, the centerpiece of the whole exposition. It's already under construction. Oh, that was it. Oh, there's another one. Oh, is it? Oh, it's the exact same thing. Wait, what's this? The seat has a handle, it seems. Oh, there's stuff in there. This looks like all sorts of equipment that might be needed to keep the omnibus running. Oh, that makes sense. Feeding tubs, tools to repair wheels, buckets, horseshoeing tools. So it's a storage compartment for the coachman to keep his things, it seems. There doesn't seem to be any space for passengers to stow their luggage, that's for sure. Well, I don't imagine it would be very convenient for that purpose anyway. Probably not. This one doesn't have a handle. Now, there's that blood there. That's blood that's soaked into the seat. The victim's obviously. Yes, and that seat would be clearly visible from the roof deck. Would you really stab somebody in full view of the other passengers like that, I wonder? Well, it was after dark. And there was a lamp on in here, so perhaps the culprit couldn't see anything outside through the skylight. Whichever way you look at it, it doesn't seem like it was a planned attack. Maybe not. But considering there's literally somebody on the jury that has a knife in his hand. Oh yeah. There's nothing else to see, is there? Did I miss? I didn't look at the roof at the top, actually. Oh my gosh, look at that! It says Phoenix Wright Omnibus on it. That's so cute! So this is the roof deck of the omnibus. Oh, you must have a wonderful view of London's streets from up here. So people still sit all the way up here on bitter winter nights with the cold air rushing past them? And they have to pay money to do so? Oh, I can't imagine how cold it must feel. That just made me think of something horrible. Can you imagine being dragged around the city in the freezing cold as a punishment? Perhaps that is the real price you pay to stay out late. Probably. Your drinks look so good. I want one. Can't find anything out of place. What do you mean you can't find anything out? It was lit up, I thought. I must have moved it. You can certainly see inside the carriage through this opening, that's for sure. Yes, and there's a lamp in the enclosed cabin. So I'm sure the witnesses would have been able to see quite clearly. That's not good for us. No, considering we still barely know anything. Do I need to go back in? I don't want to. Oh, too sweet. It's quite a large skylight, isn't it? Yes, quite large enough to afford a good view into the cabin from the roof deck. There doesn't appear to be a handle or catch of any description, so I suppose it can't be opened from inside the cabin at least. Am I missing something? No, that leads me out. Is there anything that I'm missing? I can't tell. Well, the seat looks reasonably soft, but it's actually rather hard when you sit on it. And only just wide enough for two gentlemen to sit side by side, really. Of course, an English gentlewoman would be dressed in such finery. It would be quite impossible for her to climb up to the roof deck, so she would have to be seated in here. A woman in a kimono would have the same problem. Women's clothes are very impractical, aren't they? Back then they were. I can't... Is there something important I should be noticing? I'm not even allowed to look at the bottom of it. Hello, am I missing something? I don't know.
Hold it!
Yes, I think it was sometime after 10, wasn't it? Oh, yes, sir. That's right, sir. Yes, ever so cold. It was freezing. Freezing, in fact. His hat keeps falling off.
Excuse me.
Whoa, I didn't mean to. Oh, no. No, I didn't mean to. Oops. Seem to be looking to the side one way or another. Do you have some affliction? He's not really willing to say anything, it seems. Oh. The victim and the man accused of killing him were sat next to each other inside the bus.
Hold it!
And you saw them through the skylight and the roof of the carriage? That's right. You sit up in the top deck, the windows right there at your feet. There was a lamp on inside, so I had a pretty good view. The two of them were wearing hats, and I couldn't exactly make out their faces. But there's not a shred of doubt in my mind that was Mr. McGilded. Really? How can you be so sure? Well, how can I put it politely? McGilded is a gentleman of rather small stature. I couldn't have mistaken him for anyone else. Let's not forget that when the vehicle came to a halt, the only people inside the enclosed cabin were the deceased Mr. Mason and Mr. McGilded. There's no room for doubt here. I really wish there was. So do I. Then out of the blue, the accused just reached over and plunged a knife right into his guts.
Hold it!
You actually saw the exact moment it happened? Did it already testify to that? Are fair dinkum hardworking city bankers not considered trustworthy these days? I don't know. Oh, no, I didn't mean that. This is no good. I've really got his backup. I've really got his backup? I don't know what that means. That was confusing. Perhaps you could just tell us what you saw in a little more detail if that's... Oh, my lord. Juror number 3. What's the meaning of this? My mind is made up, my lord. Completely and utterly made up. Made up about what? I don't like the stinking rich. Never have. They're always up to something or other that they shouldn't be. Every one of them. And that little leprechaun of a man is no exception. Well, he can't fool me. Oh, really? You're just gonna put your vote in for guilty right now? There's no point wasting time listening to any more of this. That's my opinion on the matter anyway. Really? That is precisely what I was about to say, sir. As the foreman of the jury, it is my duty to set a good example for my fellow jurors. Excuse me? Why? Why are they doing this? What is happening here? Let me see. Ah, yes, it seems that's how the members of the jury give their verdicts. With fire? Apparently, yes. White for innocent and black for guilty. As the 6 members of the jury make up their minds about the case, one by one they each cast a ballot of fire into the great scales of justice as we saw a moment ago. So if those enormous scales fall completely to the black side, does that mean... Let's do our very best to make sure that doesn't happen. Ugh. Now I'm even more worried than I was before. Oh? Very well, the court acknowledges the change in the jury's stance. Counsel for the defense, please continue with your cross-examination. This is a nightmare. That's right, he stabbed him, I screamed, I did, couldn't help it. He stabbed him, you say, and you were sitting up on the roof deck, were you? Yes, that's right, sir, I was up on the roof seats. I remember seeing the little gent sitting right next to the fellow that was stabbed. I've been thinking about a new hat design, you see. I was just gazing absent-mindedly around. But then I happened to look down through this skylight. It was sticking right out from his belly, that huge, great knife. A grim sight indeed. Oh, that didn't help me at all. The jury looked like they're even more convinced my client did it than they were before. That appears to have made everyone even more dubious that Mr. McGilded is telling the truth. If only we had some evidence to counter their suspicions. Mr. First! Oh, yes, sir. Is this the knife you saw? Oh, good grief, yes, that's it! The very one, sir. Is that? Yes, counsel. This is the blade that was driven into the victim's belly like a stake through the heart. That is the blade of considerable size, counsel. It is. And furthermore, the scabbard is emblazoned prominently with a certain initial. The letter M, which seems oddly familiar. Please no. M for Magnus, perhaps? Or McGilded, possibly? Take your pick. Sir, I don't want to. It seems this particular big name in London made a magnificent mistake.
Objection!
Oh, he nervous. But there are M's everywhere. Yes, like in Mason.
Objection!
The blade is far too extravagant for a poor brickmaker to have owned. Why am I dropping frames? Hold on. My Streamlabs is saying that I am dropping a lot of frames, and I don't appreciate that. And I don't understand why. Might be okay for now. My Switch isn't hot. No, this weapon of murder almost certainly belongs to the accused. Not conclusive, but certainly compelling, counsel. The murder weapon has been entered into the court record. My lord, if you'll forgive the interruption. Juror number 2, go on. Mr. McGilded is a pillar of society and a gentleman, and a gentleman's word should be sacrosanct? However, those of us in service know we must accept hard truths. Wait, what are you about to do? Dispose of the rubbish? No! Stop! Why? Oh, that's okay. I don't wish to cause offense, but I do like to eradicate all traces of filth and grime. Ma'am! I have painstakingly typed every word uttered here today and cross-referenced all the facts. As such, I am now in position to draw the only logical conclusion. Ma'am? Stop! Stop! Not again. That's 4 out of 6 jury members who proposed a guilty verdict. There are only 2 left. We've had it. Every time I press these witnesses for more information, I just make the situation worse. Nevertheless, what we need more than anything at the moment is more information. We're still very much in the dark. I suppose I'll just have to keep pressing the witnesses, knowing that more sparks may well fly. We mustn't give up hope that we'll uncover something that will give us a way to fight back. Alright, I'll keep trying. I can't give up. I just need to keep calm and listen to the witnesses' statements again. But there's a nothing!
Hold it!
What exactly did you see? Oh, well, sir, that would be the passenger, yes. Collapsed on the floor, he was. And by the passenger, obviously you are referring to the victim, Mr. Mason the brickmaker. And then the other passenger had the knife in his hand like this. By the other passenger, obviously you are referring to the accused, Mr. Magnus McGilded. I heard a sound. It's hard to believe one of London's greatest philanthropists. But this is damning indeed. No, it's not. The law knows no philanthropists, my lord. Only the innocent and the guilty. Sir, please. Good deeds mean nothing when overshadowed by evil. The truth is everything. Couldn't agree more, sir. The truth. That was useless. Alright, so when it happened, the only 2 people in the enclosed cabin area were the victim and the defendant. And so help me, 3 whole people witnessed the man I'm trying to defend do the deed. I don't like to be pessimistic, but we do seem to be in a rather difficult situation here. Yes! What am I supposed to think here? Is Mr. McGilded really innocent? Or could it be... Before we jump to conclusions, our first task should be to gather information. We need to understand the case much better than we do at the moment. Yes, you're absolutely right. Let's listen to those witnesses' statements again. A little more carefully this time. What do you mean? Oh, he doesn't like blades. But he does have a sword, yes. Oh. Let's see what the blade looks like. Yeah. Oh. Ooh. Where is this? Oh, there's the M. An ornate letter M, undeniably Mr. Magnus McGilded's initial. And it's beautifully gilded, too. Must be very valuable, I should think. What is it? Look at this M. If you turn it upside down, it becomes a W. This could change everything. W? Yes, this is one of those, you know, turnabout cases. I'm sure of it. I'm afraid I don't know it all. What I'm sure of is that this is an M. Oh. Well, that idea was quickly squashed. Yep. Ugh, that looks like a lot of blood. It surely is blood, the victims. Ugh. An Englishman's blood looks a lot like a Japanese man's blood. Did you think it wouldn't? Sorry. It's just that we've only just arrived here in Great Britain. I'm finding it a little hard to adjust. Yes, I do understand. I wish we would give check marks, like in the other Ace Attorney games, once you've finished something. This is definitely blood, isn't it? Not the most pleasant sight to be confronted with on our first day in London. Well, nothing will come of grumbling now. No. By the way, is Mr. McGilded right-handed? Yes, I believe so. He was toying with a coin in his right hand a little earlier. Ah, pity. If only he'd been left-handed. I think blood on another glove would be fairly incriminating, really. Dang, I was hoping there would be something else. Try again. There's nothing here! Listen to them all a little more carefully.
Hold it!
missing a towel, so nobody fled the scene of the crime then. I have to say my boss insists on it running he does every evening, that last bus of the day. But I do wonder sometimes if it's altogether worthwhile. Yes, sorry to say. What do you mean by that? Well, what with it being so cold and everything, and only making 20 pence on the run, you see. Yes, I spend that much at the pub on the way home just trying to warm up again. I just can't believe it, sir. Can't believe it. A murder in my own bus. It's too awful to think about. I haven't been able to shake this cold ever since it happened. My lord, I wish to speak. Oh no. Yes, juror number 5. Do I take it that you too? As the master of the London Guild of Coachmen, the idea of a murder being committed in one of the city's carriages is utterly abhorrent to me. Oh, please no. You wouldn't be right to make a decision before hearing all the facts, though, I said to myself. But I've heard enough now. The horse has been bolted, as they say. No! No, please. Just keep an open mind a little longer. Gee up now, Silver Blaze. The finish is in sight. Oh, no. Why? Why is this happening? Beppo's a long-standing member of the guild, and I trust what the man says. Why? This is too unkind, sir. Which now means that 5 jurors agree to condemn this man. Why are you all stupid? Madame Juror number 6. Yes, dear. What can I do for you? You have heard the testimonies of the witnesses at the stand. Oh yes, I certainly have. Still got my hearing, you know. Then, pray tell, why are you yet to pronounce your leaning? Well, dear, the thing is, I'm a creature of habit, me. I always go to the park around this time of day and sit on a nice bench and get on with my knitting. Okay. There's a lovely little park just near where I live. McGilded Park, it's called. Ah. The gentleman donated to the city, you know, to put a smile on the Londoners' faces, he said. I can't imagine such a fine young gentleman would have it in him to take another man's life. So he's doing wonderful things for the city. That's right, a man like that wouldn't stab someone, surely. Mother, may we go to the McGilded Public Library later and borrow some more books? Oh. How many Londoners live with their heads in the clouds? Do you people not know what kind of a man Magnus McGilded really is? What do you mean? What kind of man he is? The philanthropist. Magnus McGilded has enough wealth to purchase the entire city he claims to value so highly. But where did all that wealth come from? Your client is a Shylock, sir, and one with the very darkest of souls. What? Sown the crows. That's an interesting phrase. McGilded lends money at extortionate rates of interest, so his victims have no hope of repaying him. When they default, he takes possession of everything they own. He's a vulture that preys on the weak. Oh. I've never heard any mention of that before. Your faculties haven't deserted you, I'm sure, madame. So has this thought not crossed your mind? Would a man wealthy enough to buy London in its entirety not have a carriage of his own? What possible reason could this man have had to make use of a public omnibus service? I don't know. You're not saying that the victim, a poor brickmaster, had next to nothing to his name, save considerable financial liability. It will come as no surprise that his creditor was the accused, Magnus McGilded. But let it also be known that the very day Mr. Mason was killed, the final repayment date for his debts. Good gracious! The brickmaker was destitute. He had lost his home. He had not a shilling with which to repay his debts. And in the end, this pitiful soul had the very last thing he owned taken from him, his life. By the merciless philanthropist pretender, Magnus McGilded. So many words. I don't believe it. If I might add something briefly, Mr. Sato, you claimed that the victim had been lent money by Mr. McGilded, but where's the evidence to support your claim? Why are you pouring a drink? Do you not have an answer for me? Pray forgive the discourtesy of filling my hallowed chalice in a court of law. Aha, there it is! Lord Von Zeke's hallowed chalice. How can this be considered acceptable? The same way Francisca's whip is considered acceptable, it just is. But I find myself in unexpectedly good humor. I had heard ladies from the Far East could show great courage, but I didn't expect to experience it myself. As judicial assistant to the defense, I am simply doing my job. What a pity that your display of courage is in vain. What do you mean? This is the debtor's ledger, which details all monies loaned by the accused. Oh. You will find the victim's name clearly recorded inside. Oh. Allow me to present this ledger as evidence. And pray forgive the discourtesy of raising my chalice in a toast to the enigmatic East at the same time. Oh. Wow, you really aren't. A marvelous toast, Counsel. I will gladly accept this new evidence. Nothing is going right. Ah, yes, 20 guineas. The victim owed a considerable sum. I think that's right. And the accused made quite certain he had ample recompense. Well, it would seem I've had the wool pulled over my eyes. Oh no. Regrettably, madame, that is the modus operandi of the accused. And it's such a pretty little park, too. What a scoundrel! Am I dropping frames again? Maybe it's my computer. I do need to clean up my laptop, honestly. Why are there frames dropping when I'm literally doing nothing but sitting here? Still, maybe it's all for the best. Oh, wait a minute! Let's think about this a little more before. I don't stand for nonsense. Well, that's not good. That was it. The last juror's decision. Hold on. According to this encyclopedia of British law, when all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended, and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. That's what it says here. The final verdict. It's over then. Oh! There's a footnote, though. A footnote. However, the defense... Oh. All 6 members of the jury are now in agreement in this case. He has to be Miles' ancestor. Allow me to convey my respect for your swift and righteous decision. According to the laws of this country, I will now conclude the trial by delivering my final verdict. I trust there are no objections. Susato, just tell me one thing. Oh, yes? You were in the middle of saying something before. The footnote in your Encyclopedia of British Law. However, the defense... What did it say next? Oh, yes, of course. One moment. When all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. Then the footnote says, however, the defense has the right to demand a summation examination of the jurors at this point. A what? Is this gonna kill my frames even more? A summation examination?
Objection!
A summation examination? From which century has that tome you have there been resurrected? Or tome? Ah. Judging from the binding, I would say that book is at least 50 years old. Any modern text on British law wouldn't give such an antiquated procedure a mention. Oh. It's a relic, long forgotten and certainly no longer practiced. So you're out of luck. Sir, please. Oh. What even is it, Miss Susato? This so-called summation examination. Oh, one moment, and I'll read about it. You would demand the right to a procedure before you even understand what it entails? Typical Nipponese. Sir, you're rude. I don't care how hot you are, you're rude. Alright, Mr. Naruhodo, I think I understand. It seems under this procedure... we will be able to appeal to the members of the jury. Sorry. To do what exactly? Oh, that's so cute. Hold on. Appeal to them to change their leaning and reverse their decisions. And it says here that if successful, the proceedings of the trial must be resumed. Make them reverse their decisions. Is there too much stuff around my computer and it's just getting too hot? Yes, in times gone by, barristers would use a summation examination to attempt to influence the jury's decision. But that procedure became something of a formality with no practical benefit, really, so it rather fell out of use. I wonder why. Because it was devoid of purpose. Oh? Changing just one member of the jury's mind would be hard enough, let alone several. No self-respecting defense barrister would even assert his right to try in this day and age. Still, I don't see any mention of the procedure actually being formally revoked. What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting that although it may be antiquated and largely forgotten, it isn't yet extinct. What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? A summation examination. Our last possible option. Do we assert our right to carry it out or admit defeat? Do it! You always have to do it. The defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination, my lord.
Objection!
No objecting. London is the capital city of the most powerful nation on earth. We have a duty to the world to exemplify the very highest standards of judicial procedure. Summation examinations are an embarrassment that should remain buried.
Objection!
Jeez, why am I dropping frames so much? That's what... like, that's what this is saying. Hold on. I don't understand why. But if it's our right, it's our right. I believe it could prove vital in this trial. The defense's petition is perfectly valid. The court will proceed with the summation examination. This is madness. Foreman, are you and the remainder of the jury ready? Well, I'm not, there was no mention of this in the letter I received, you see, so... all members of the jury will be asked to explain on what grounds they have reached their decision. On what grounds? You must all justify your decisions and explain why you believe the defendant to be guilty. Well, my lord, you're rather putting us on the spot. This is most irregular. No mention was made of this before. I don't really hold with all this justifying lark. His knife looks like the one we have in the court record. That seems to have thrown the jurors off. It seems none of them have experienced this before. Alright then. The summation examination. A defense procedure no practicing lawyer has attempted in years, is it? Well, just maybe. It might be the opportunity we've been looking for. To turn this trial around. Maybe. So be it then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court hereby calls upon you to state the grounds on which you find the defendant, Magnus McGilded, guilty of this most serious crime. Let me try something. Oh. Interesting. The jurors' contentions. There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him. I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers, with fares totaling 20 pence. He stuck the chap next to him like this. Brazen, I must say. Absolutely brazen. I have simply typed and collated all the statements made thus far and drawn the logical conclusion. You can trust the guild. Fair fares is our motto. We haven't raised prices above 4 pence for years. The scoundrel stabbing that poor man on the floor, it beggars belief. He didn't stab him on the floor, he stabbed him in the seat. Well, whoever did. I'm starting to wish I hadn't pushed for this now. Well, we're kind of stuck doing it. Some of the jurors don't seem to have wonderfully formed arguments, though, do they? Well, let's see what we can do. We need to get these 6 people to change their minds. I'll have to throw everything I can at them, and use some very persuasive language. Just a moment, Mr. Naruhodo. Are you going to tell me exactly how to do it? According to my book, that's not quite how it works. Oh? I thought I was going to have to thaw their icy minds with some heartwarming rhetoric about the defendant. Unfortunately, once the jurors have decided the defendant is guilty, they're unlikely to heed anything the defense says. But then, they've reached their conclusion by their own reasoning, you see. Your pleas will sound like excuses. In fact, it could recoil on you. The more you try to persuade them, the more entrenched they may become. Then what on earth am I supposed to do? That's a wonderful question. Oh dear. I'm just citing what I've read about British law, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh. Right. I'm sorry. Do you have any idea how to make this work, then? Well, from what I can understand, the key to the procedure is using the jurors' own words to make your arguments. What do you mean? Well, the 6 members of the jury are randomly selected members of the public. They may appear to present a united front, but the truth is, they are complete strangers who just happen to find themselves here in the courtroom together. And that's the way to break them down, you mean? Yes, exactly. Oh, we must listen very carefully to what each member of the jury says, and see if we can identify any contradictory statements. If we can, we then contrast the statements and pit the corresponding jurors against each other. I see. So it's contradictions in what 2 or more jurors say that we're looking for. In a way, then, this is similar to a regular cross-examination. Oh, yes, I suppose you're right. Find contradictions in their statements and pit the jurors against one another to break them down. Alright, I might be able to pull this off. No, that's not right. I have to pull this off. Can we start the proceedings, counsel? I would ask you to take the stand for this. I'm expecting a clear and concise rebuttal. Yes, my lord. Oh. I'm getting a headache. Hold on. Ow. Okay. There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him. I trust the driver, he has excellent memory, it seems, for passengers with fares totaling 20 pence. Wait, that's not true. Is it?
Hold it!
That's how much it costs to take the omnibus? That's right. As the guild master, I decided to set a policy for all drivers across the city. One fare, no matter which bus you take or how far you're going. We have to compete with the rise of the motor car, you see. Us coachmen have to make a stand together. Motor cars, you say? Yes, and this murder on one of our buses is extremely damaging to our cause. It's beyond the pale. It'll lead to a decline in passengers. You mark my words, it's all that rascal's fault. He has to pay. Is it the crime or his buses he's more worried about? Anyway, every member of my guild is reliable and trustworthy. So if the driver says he saw him do it, that fellow in the dock is as guilty as sin. Well, oh dear.
Hold it!
I really think you should stop waving that needle around. You heard what the good coachman said before, didn't you? That hideous man stabbed the poor fellow, just like this. Yes, that is what he said, you're right. Gilded Park is such a lovely little place, too. I've always enjoyed resting my legs there while I get on with my knitting. And I had thought that anyone who donated such a delightful place must be a fine fellow indeed. Suppose I was wrong. Oh. Whoever would have thought he was a miserable, murdering moneylender with not a scrap of remorse? Oh, help. She's as sure as can be he's guilty now. Oh, yes, please help. The old lady certainly seems to know her mind, doesn't she? That's an interesting way to put it. So, we just need to find two jurors with contradictory statements and pit them against each other. Which is so much easier said than done. Is that perhaps what you were just thinking? How'd you know? Well, I took the liberty of doing some research in case you happen to find yourself in just a situation. Shall I read you what I found out? It is a little long, I'm afraid. Do it, I guess. I have a headache already, so... Very well, listen to this. During the summation examination, you will hear the assertions of the 6 members of the jury. In this situation, the counsel for the defense should use X and pit with impunity. Having done so, you will be able to compare the chosen assertion with those of the other jurors. Select the corresponding buttons to listen to the other jurors' assertions again. Note that you cannot choose the assertion of the juror you initially selected. Thank you for banning them, I was just about to. Nor can you choose assertions of jurors who have changed their leaning to not guilty already. Once you've compared the various jurors' assertions, work out which two contradict each other and then pit them together with X to pull them apart. Bye, Felicia. I see. She wasn't joking when she said it was long. It wasn't that long. The first step is to listen very carefully to what each individual juror has to say. Then I'm sure you'll start to see which ones might not quite agree with each other. I have an idea for one already. Alright then. Let's get this right now, so I never have to listen to that long and boring explanation again. That's the spirit. So I think this one and this one?
Objection!
Oh, the music stopped! Those two statements clearly contradict each other. They do? Explain yourself, Counsel. Me? Oh dear, what have I said? I swear on Silver Blaze's mane and name, I haven't the first idea what you're talking about. According to the group testimony we've heard so far, there were 4 passengers on the omnibus on the night in question. And according to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 20 pence in fares. Quite right, I have those precise details typed neatly right in front of me. And juror number 5 also told us the following. The fare for the omnibus is always 4 pence. That it is, a fair and convenient single price, just the way London's carriages should be operated. But that doesn't add up at all. In fact, it leaves a glaring discrepancy in the facts. Why, man, why? 4 passengers paying 4 pence each. If you do the multiplication, it would be 16 pence. Exactly. As I said, it doesn't add up. The figures are different. By 4 pence, in fact. Or precisely, 1 person's fare. 1 person's fare? Yes. In other words, on the omnibus that night, it's distinctly possible there was another passenger we've heard nothing about. Good gracious. Yay! I did a thing! This can't be right. The coachmen of the guild are good, honest men, one and all. Trustworthiness is our watchword. The figures your coachman claims most certainly do not add up. Your watchword, good sir, is a fallacy. I beg your pardon? Mr. Guildmaster, I think you ought to consider that if this trial were to end now, the news will surely spread all over London. The news that one of your coachmen tried to hide the fact that he lets nefarious characters ride his omnibus. Oh. All right then. How do I make it so this miserable trial doesn't end, She's looking, she's looking! Well, according to my book here, you simply launch a fireball into the innocent side of the set of scales. Hold your horses there, coachman. We were all in agreement. Why do you have to go and wait till I get my hands on you, Beppo? Uh-oh. Yay! I changed the mind of one of them. Oh, this is all very irritating. Begging your pardon, sir. I'm going to do the same. Yee. That's good, that's good, that's good. For the love of Mike, not you as well. A penny can be the difference between a smile and a tear, after all. I certainly can't put my trust in someone who doesn't follow my exacting standards on financial matters. Oh, really? I, for one, think it's only proper that we hear from the witnesses again. Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo, you did it! If we can manage to change 2 more jurors' minds, we can force the trial to continue. 2 more. Actually, there is something else that's bothering me about a couple of their assertions. Oh, really? Then that's where you must strike next. So I need to pit 2 more jurors against each other and show there's another contradiction in their assertions. I actually think I know which 2. Exactly. You can do it. Well, the scales of justice have shifted. But they still weigh heavy on the side of guilt. Counsel, you have the floor again. Continue with your summation examination. I like this. It's this one. I think it's these 2.
Objection!
Yeah, it is. These 2 statements are completely contradictory. What? Explain, counsel, post-haste. Oh, dearie me. I was only knitting a jumper for my other half. What is all this claptrap? What does this contradiction even mean, I ask you? Look at that knife. Tell me that knife does not match the one that's in the court record. I'm pretty sure it does. It's just the way that they're done is differently, and one's an actual drawing, and this one is did 3D, but whatever. Oh, the Neon Cave's starting their Nuzlocke. I won't want to depict Toadile. Anyway. We've heard from more than one witness that they allegedly saw the actual moment when the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of curiosity, juror number 3. What? Can't you see that I'm busy here? How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it? You don't want to test me, do you? It was like this. It stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up, just like the prim banker said. Yes, that was Mr. Fairplay's testimony. Quite true. Now then, juror number 6. Oh, is that me, is it? What can I do for you, young man? How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim, madame? Oh, well, dear, as far as I understand it, it was like this. He stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor. The coachman said so. Now don't move. Take a look at these 2 jurors. He stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. And he stabbed the poor man after he'd collapsed on the floor. Well, I never. They're stabbing in totally different directions. What? Bless my stitches, what a muddle. What this tells us is that there's a strong possibility one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth. Oh, but why? Why the dickens would they lie? I don't know that yet, but what I do know is that if the trial ends at this point, we may never find out. We may never know the real truth. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you really let that happen? All in good conscience? Lies, you say? Oh, dearie me. I can't abide people telling lies. Oh, do it one more. The scales. I don't believe it. One more. Oh, wait. Now hear this, my fellow jurors. I warn you, you cannot listen to this man. Look at him in his black suit. He's clearly some devious Eastern sorcerer using magic on us all. No, it's just logic. If I could use magic, do you really think I'd be putting myself through all this? Answer me this, dark jinx. Huh? Me? What exactly is the problem? What of it if 2 witnesses have slightly different recollections of events? What of it? Let's say the Shylock did stab the victim as he was sat next to him on the omnibus, and this young dandy saw him do it. And now let's say the victim collapsed on the floor, and then the Shylock stabbed him again, and this old lady saw him do it. Well, what's to say it didn't happen like that, Who are you calling a dandy, sir? Why, I should take this knife to you. Oh no! What are you calling old? Why, I should take this needle to you. They're ready to kill each other now. But could the foreman of the jury be right? Hold on, I don't think he is. A single stab wound, he's not right. Did the 2 witnesses see 2 different moments of the same crime? They did not. Unfortunately, Mr. Foreman... What is it, you dark jinx? Come on out with it. Stop calling me that. What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of the question. What? What are you talking about, man? How can you possibly say that? You do realize that I'm only doing my job. As a foreman of the jury, I have a responsibility to steer everyone in the right direction. So, where's your evidence, man? That's what we want to see. I say the 2 witnesses saw 2 different moments of the same crime. If you say that's out of the question, show me proof. They're headcanoning the different ways that he was stabbed. He looks like the only way I'm going to convince him is to present him with something he can't dismiss. What the heck? I just heard something slam into my door. Some irrefutable hard evidence. As you wish. What? I'll give you the proof. It's out of the question that the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime, as proven by the autopsy report.
Take that!
This is the victim's autopsy report. According to what's written here, Mr. Mason was stabbed in the abdomen only once. Huh? Only once? It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely one time. Which means these witnesses can't possibly have seen it happen two different times. Alright, I concede defeat. Yay, we got the 4. Wait, that means 4 jurors are now leaning to not guilty. We've done it, Mr. Naruhodo. We've won! Well, we've won this part, not the entire case. What are you playing at, you dandy fool? Shut your trap, sir. No one deceives me. But we had a consensus. I said shut your trap. I know a liar when I see one. And if the chap ever dares to cross the threshold of my shop, I'll take this razor-sharp blade and shave every last hair off his head. Okay, you're creeping me out. I hope you're the killer so we can throw you back in jail. Please tell me he's not a barber. Or please tell me he is a barber. Well, in a quite remarkable turn of events, the defense's summation examination has flipped the balance of the scales of justice. The jurors now stand at 2 for guilty and 4 for not guilty. Accordingly, there is no longer a large enough majority among the jurors for me to adjudicate, and the trial must continue. Yay! I hereby ask the defense, prosecution, and witnesses to return to their places. And I call upon all of you to continue to pursue the truth. Oh my. So, Lord von Zieks, continue to substantiate the case for the prosecution, if you please. He's gonna pour another drink. Sir, I don't think you're allowed to drink in court. Oh! Having savored the rich aroma of the carmine contents of this hallowed chalice, it may seem crass to crush it to dust. Pray forgive the discourtesy. Oh, sir. Oh, no. Lord von Zieks. Is it cold in here, or is it just me? As your antiquated tome no doubt says, the prosecution may not speak during the summation examination. So I honored a deathly silence and listened to the charade. It seems I overestimated the intelligence of the jury. Well, no matter. There is nothing so hard to prove as a self-evident truth, it would seem. No. And why else would we grace the courtroom with our presence after all? So, let us proceed to the next round of battle. Oh, he threw off his cape. Bring forth the witnesses once more. Oh, he's so fancy. He stresses me out, though. Witnesses, I trust you heard the summation examination we have just had to endure. Oh, yes, sir, that I did, sir. Of course I heard it. Oh, yes, sir, I heard it. You, sir, on the end, the coachman. I believe it's Beppo? Yes, sir. My lord, sir. If it transpires that in your previous testimony, you were attempting to veil the presence of a fifth passenger on your omnibus, you will be found guilty of perjury. You are advised to bear that in mind, sir. Oh mio Dio. Oh. Now then, witnesses, I hereby call on you to testify before the court again. You explain the various misgivings brought to our attention by the defense's summation examination. Oh boy. Various misgivings. I only could carry 4 passengers that night, I swear it. Well, I for one was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus. Oh. He fiddled on this, the fare, he did. And then I saw that blood-curdling sight as well. It's all too much. I tell you, I saw Miss McGilded stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands. Oh, yes, he stabbed him. Yes, he did. I think so, yes. I think so. It does not help. Counsel, make sense of this for me, please. The phantom 5th passenger conjured into existence by my learned Eastern friend never existed. The confusion has arisen from the coachman's sly little coznage? Oh. Beppo, explain yourself. I'm terribly sorry, Guildmaster. The Guild's fare is 4 pence across the board. You know that. Am I to understand that you've been overcharging our passengers by a penny a fare? It's so cold, and the last run of the day is always half empty. You have been dishonest, coachman. Oh, I'm so sorry. You're a disgrace, Beppo. Disgrace, and your selfish actions have brought dishonor on the entire guild. If I may, sir, I had to pay 10 pence on the bus just last week. What? 4 passengers at 5 pence each is, yes, 20 pence. I've done the arithmetic 10 times already and I just can't make the result come out differently. No, that figures. Well, it would appear that one of the aforementioned misgivings has already been explained. So, counsel for the defense, your cross-examination, if you please. We've already had the pleasure of a protracted summation examination today. I see you intend to continue the parlor games. Absolutely. I don't know if that's a good thing to answer absolutely to, but you know, it's fine. Excuse me. I'm tired and my back hurts. So I think I have to stop early. Oh. Oh boy, why do I have so many here? I hate having to stop early, but my back hurts, and I want to go see if food is ready because I'm hungry. So, tomorrow, though, will be, I already saved, it's fine. Yes, I saved my game, don't lie to me. I'll prove it. Tomorrow's going to be Naruto again. Whoops, I meant to say load game real quick. See, it's fine. It's right here. It's fine. Well, tomorrow's Naruto. Wednesday might be Pokemon. It might be this. I don't know. I haven't decided. I haven't actually fully decided. Right now, the thought is Pokemon, but I'm also really thinking about this to continue. If Wednesday works out. But hate stopping early, but I already have a small headache and my back hurts. So I'm gonna go. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be in Discord and we'll see where this goes next time. So have a good evening. Sorry it was short, but it's what I could do today. Bye.